According to the pavilion clock, the game had been underway for 53 minutes. Banksy sighed. At this rate, he and Mac were going to spend the whole afternoon on the bench. So much for prophecies of glory. Mr. Powell, form English teacher and football coach to the year, pointed at the spot for a free kick, just outside the box. Yelling and waving, the reserve team and their goalie argued about the defensive line. Mac snorted. "Who are they trying to kid?" A chorus of grunts expressed agreement. "The First have only scored 5, muttered a voice. "We might keep it out." Mac spat on the ground. "I'm talking about Duncan his poodle, stupid." Duncan King, the golden boy, top goal scorer and team captain 2 years running, tall, fair, and exuding the confidence of an all-round athlete. Donatello Capri, with jutting jaw and stocky shoulders, and long-limbed Melvin Thomas, polished skull gleaming like a new conker. The first team's 3 forwards huddled around the ball, discussing strategies for the kick. Mac chuckled. "Who are they trying to kid?" "Yeah," concurred a voice from the far end of the veranda. "As if Dunk's going to let someone else take it." "As if." Another chorus of grunts. With the reserve's defensive line finally arranged, Mr. Powell blew the whistle and Dunk took his run at the ball. Arcing round the last man in the line, it slipped past the keeper's dive and into the back of the net. Whoa! Unbelievable! Banksy was on his feet with the others. Practically a right angle.
Say ho! Say ho! Eat my girl! Say eat my girl!
Mr. Powell had blown the whistle. As Dunk made his way towards the pavilion, Don and Mel hung close. The other players, first-teamers in their all-white strip, reserves in grey shirts and red bibs, jostled to pat him on the back or offer praise. "Excellent work, King," Mr. Powell nodded to Dunk. "The team are having a good game. Let's keep it up in the second half." He studied his clipboard. "OK, time for some new opposition. Stick your hand up, who haven't I seen?" "Sir, sir!" Arms shot up. Mr. Powell's eyes flickered along the row. "Ah, some familiar faces." Back to the clipboard. "Yes, Banks and McBride. Sitting together again, I see. Inseparable, perhaps? Do we play together on the pitch?" "Yes, sir." Mac jumped up. "We play together loads, sir, up front." "We know each other blind," said Banksy. "Uh-huh." Mr. Powell nodded. "Right or left-footed?" "Mac's right, I'm left, sir." "OK, I'd like you playing left back." Mr. Powell made a note on the clipboard. "McBride, you play over at the right." "Right back, sir. But, sir, Banksy and me, we're forwards, sir. We play as paired strikers." "Everyone wants to be a star, McBride. But as long as Duncan King is able to score goals of this afternoon's calibre, he'll continue to play striker and be captain. It would help me if you could just play where I asked." Mac bowed his head. "Thank you," said Mr. Powell. "Now, who else have I still to see?" Rides had been packed away, caravans and generator trailers hitched to the back of huge trucks. A few stragglers remained, but the fair had gone on its way. The sun cast its low light through the trees. Banksy and Mac mooched, kicking their way through the left-behind litter. "You played well," said Banksy. "Thanks." Mac smiled and gave him the thumbs up, but his voice was flat. "You didn't do too badly yourself." "Moi?" "Yeah, you played excellently. We both did." Banksy grinned. "But don't go getting your hopes up." Mac hacked at the ground with his heel. "We both know how it works. Mr. Powell's not about to tinker with a winning formula." The two friends continued their trawl through the litter in silence. They were close to the spot where the fortune-teller's caravan had stood. Banksy slowed to a shuffle. "All that stuff," he said. "All that mumbo-jumbo," said Mac. "Fortune-tellers are just con artists." "Yeah, I reckon," said Banksy. He felt lighter, happy to have at last broken the ice, relieved by Mac's cynicism. "You have to admit, though, she picked up on the football connection straight away." "Pretty safe guess, boys our age." Mac kicked a bottle. "What about her hint you might be picked for a team?" "And you, remember?" Mac laughed. "She was just telling us what she knew we wanted to hear." Suddenly, His expression changed. What? Banksy jerked round. 3 familiar female figures emerged from the trees. Well, Shanice grinned, if it isn't the future heroes of St Dunstan's. The Fantastic Forwards, sneered Eve. Nina chuckled. Duncan King's right and left-hand men. Mac glowered. Banksy sighed and forced himself to take a deep breath. Arms folded, shoulder to shoulder, the 3 girls blocked their path. Mac frowned. Where did you appear from? Shanice nodded towards the copse. Nina spotted you. So you chased all this way after us, said Banksy, just to wind us up? We never chase boys, said Nina, especially ones your age. And we're not winding you up, said Shanice. The 2 of you have been selected for the soccer team. To play up front with Duncan King, sighed Nina. That should make you happy. Yeah, right, said Mac. Nice try, girls, said Banksy. You don't believe us? Shanice scowled. Then go and ask Duncan yourself. He and some other boys were having an argument about the team selection down on Heath Street. That's how we found out. You must think we're really stupid, said Mac. Shanice shrugged and smiled. That's beside the point. Come on. Banksy grabbed Mac's sleeve. I know where Dunk lives. We can cut across the heath. He jabbed a finger at Shanice. I know you're lying. Right, said Shanice. That'll be why you're going to check, then. Guys, Dunk greeted them. What brings you here? You must have heard something, right? Mac and Banksy glanced at one another. Mac nodded. Banksy's sister, my sister, Banksy interrupted, is the world's greatest wind-up artist. Dunk grinned. What she said? The thing is, Banksy chuckled, she and her stupid mates claim that we've been picked to play alongside you. You don't believe them? Said Dunk. After your performances at the trials, Mr. Powell asked how I'd feel about sticking you 2 in the starting lineup for Wednesday's friendly, as a tryout. He shrugged. I told him, yeah. Your sister and her friends must have heard me breaking the news to Mel and Dawn. There was a bit of a rumpus. Don't suppose they were too happy, said Mac. Dunk shrugged. Can't have to be expected. They fed me balls all last season. But you guys played excellently. If Wednesday goes well, you're likely to get played again. There'll be more team changes, I guarantee, before the season's over. Mac grinned. You better watch out then. The 3 boys laughed. It's getting dark, said Banksy. We should be chipping. They touched fists. Then MacB and Banksy sprinted to the road. First by a nod, Mac thundered to a halt at the gate. Banksy stopped beside him, bent over, panting. It's happening, gasped Mac suddenly. What? Banksy looked up. What is? The prophecy. This is the start of what she predicted. Banksy stared. In flickering shadow, Mac's face seemed to twist and darken. Mac chuckled. Admit it, I had you for a moment there. Yeah, right. Banksy made a face. Like I really believed you.